Alrighty, it's time to study some profitability ratios, and we're going to talk about some caveats to these profitability ratios in addition to talking about them, and give you some variations on these things. The first one is the return on invested capital, or the return on assets. Sometimes we see it called the ROIC, or we might call it the ROA for return on assets. It's simply the profit we made, the income before taxes. We exclude the taxes in this calculation, and we divide that by the assets that are on our balance sheet. Again, if you roll back to my discussion about the activity ratios, I sometimes wonder if we should be doing an average here, but hey, that's what the textbook said, so we're going to roll with it. So we're just going to pull these numbers. This top number comes from the income statement, and the bottom number comes from the balance sheet. You just use an equal sign and go grab a cell reference. And you don't even need to do that. I just did it like this to kind of make the calculations neat and clean here on my sheet. And we divide, and we get 2.66. So what does that mean? Now, first of all, just as a quick rewind, in a lot of these ratios up here, we divided and did not convert them to a percentage. We have lots of them that are just in decimal form. But these ratios here are typically expressed as a percentage, and that is just the convention. So we had a 2.66 return on our assets. Every time we have $100 invested in assets, every asset that's worth $100 gives us $2.66. That's the way to think about that. And look what happened over time. Over time, our assets went down. Things depreciate, inventory depletes, whatever the case may be. And profits went up, and because profits are going up and inventory's going down, this ratio is going to get bigger. So we became better at turning assets into profit. That's what's happened here. You want to see this number go up as you're getting better at turning your assets into profit. So that's one thing you can look at. Another thing you can look at is the return on equity, right? So this is the net worth of the owner of the business. And this is the kind of thing that your investor who puts equity into the business is really interested in. Same as before, same income before taxes as we had in the previous ratio, and we divide it by the equity, which is of course found on the balance sheet. The division happens right here. We get a return on equity. What's this telling us? This is telling us for every $100 worth of equity in the business, this business is going to give us $5.71 of profit. And if you're an investor who puts $100 in, you get a 5.71% return on that equity. That's what this is telling us. Let's take a look at the second year and see what's happened. Our income went up and our equity went down, which means that we made more income with less equity, right? So if income's going up and equity is going down, you're doing more with less. And so we went from a 5.71% to a 6.68%. Hey, that's almost a 1% gain. That's pretty sweet, y'all. I like seeing that. So we managed to improve this. So if your income stays the same and the equity drops, this number is going to improve. If the equity stays the same and the income goes up, this number is going to improve. The next item is profit as a percentage of sales. So this is just the income before taxes divided by our total sales. 3.72% the first year, 3.42% the second year. And I want to show you something. We have this percentage-based income statement up here. And in that, we see these exact same numbers here. So these numbers have been duplicated. So there's more than one place to pull these numbers. So this is just simply taking our income before taxes, our profit before we pay any taxes, and divide that by our total sales to get profit as a percentage of sales. Why is it before taxes? I don't know. That's just the convention in this particular case. So there we go, y'all. That is a long list of various tools that we can use to manage our business and do some ratios and some analysis in order to figure out how we're doing in the business and if we're improving. Thank you so much for watching my silly video, and we will catch you next time.